Good morning. It is Monday, February 20th, 2023, President's Day. I'm back here for Daily Shakeup number 671. And today I want to talk about blame and responsibility. And I think we've got them mixed up, or sometimes really deeply confused. Let's start with responsibility. The key is that responsibility is pretty generally understood to be something that I take, that I assume. So I either assume it in advance or maybe even take it in advance. And if something works or doesn't work, I take responsibility. I own it. I take responsibility for my actions, my choices, my responses. So it's very much about taking responsibility. It's about focused on me, what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and the impact I have. Now, blame typically is thought of as something that we do to others. I'm going to blame you for something, or that someone else does to us. We might say something like, would you stop blaming me for that? But here's the thing. We tend to get that responsibility is an internal thing, but we think that blame is this external thing. I blame others or others blame me. But I would argue that, in fact, blame is also an internal thing, because I can purport to blame you for something, but ultimately, the only blaming that happens is when we blame ourselves, when we accept the truth of that blaming. And blame, giving it or putting it out to others, or having someone blame us, and accepting that is really a form of victimhood. Think about that for a minute. If I take responsibility for whatever it is, and let's say I take responsibility for this section, this section of whatever it is, and there's another piece that for whatever reason I don't take responsibility for. Say it's not my responsibility, but someone blames me for that. Well, that's about them. See, it only really becomes blame to me when I acknowledge it and I realize that I'm avoiding responsibility. So I just want you to think about, play with this a little bit, play with it yourself, play with it in terms of how you're interacting with others, your team members, around responsibility and blame. It's easy to, pun intended, blame others. But the reality is both responsibility and blame are things that go on within ourselves. That's it for today. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. And by all means, stay connected.